Without a doubt, the biggest story of this Panthers offseason has been the loss of four wide receivers. As they have lost their four top wide receivers, and I don't know if that's ever happened to any team in NFL history, and if so, it's probably one that made it to the Super Bowl, and we just made it to second round of the playoffs. So the quest has been, and the question has been replacing those wide receivers. So recently, I got a chance to catch up with, believe it or not, I did find an active player that was on the team last year as a wide receiver and still does have a contract. Tavarres King and I had a chance to speak about his take on what has been happening so far with the Panthers this season and what they're going to need to do moving forward in 2014 to duplicate last year's success. Tavarres, thanks for taking the time to have a quick call with me this afternoon.
Man, anytime.
I certainly want to get your thoughts on the Panthers' free agency moves so far this year. But first, let's introduce you to our audience, because I know you're a rookie going into your second year, so not everybody's as familiar with you as I am. So tell me a little bit about your high school and college career.
All right, I'm from Georgia. I grew up in Georgia. Went to Habersham Central High School, which is Northeast Georgia. We were 4A. I had a pretty good career there.
Player of the year, right?
What's up? Yeah, I was Gatorade Player of the Year in 2008. And I went on to the University of Georgia, where I played for 5 years. I got a medical red shirt my freshman year. And, I had a pretty good career there, man. I wouldn't trade it for anything. It was a great experience for me. And, I got to play alongside some great receivers, with guys like A.J. Green, Muhammad Massaquoi, Chris Durham. Played with Matthew Stafford, Noshawn Marino. It was just an awesome experience for me to get to play with those guys, and get to go up against the competition that I did in the SEC.
And what were some of the accolades you got over there at Georgia?
I was named team captain. I was on the Blitnikoff Award watch list twice.
Had a few touchdown catches, right?
Yeah, I had a few, just a few. I had a good senior year, really good senior year. I think I had 950 yards, just 50 yards shy of 1,000. That big mark. Let's see, I think I led the nation in yards per catch.
So coming out of the SEC, which is one of the strongest divisions, I think that probably prepared you pretty good for what to expect in the pros, right?
Yeah, that weighed into my decision on where I wanted to go to school too. I knew that I was going to be going up against the best, so coming out of the SEC was huge. I think that it prepared me for the next level, and got me ready. It definitely gave me an edge.
And that career at Georgia led you to being drafted, I believe it was the 6th round by the Denver Broncos, right?
Fifth, yeah. It was the 5th round by the Broncos, 161st pick.
Okay, so 5th round, made it through some of the season with Denver, but then you end up being waived by Denver because they had to make room for, I believe it was Von Miller at the time. They had to make room on the roster for him.
Yeah, Von was coming back from his suspension. So, it's a numbers game, and I drew the short stick. So, but luckily I did. I'm happy to be where I'm at now.
Landed you with Carolina that picked you up off of waivers, and last year, as your rookie season, was I guess pretty much a learning experience for you. But let me ask you this: it was a pretty good season for the Panthers. All the wide receivers sit together, and you're right there in the mix of everybody. At the end of that season, which was just a couple months ago at this point, did you have any idea what the offseason would look like for you guys? I clearly remember Steve Smith at the end of that game after San Francisco said that he knew he was going to be a Panther this year. He knew at least he was under contract.
Yeah, man, it's crazy how everything played out so far. It's weird, man. I talked to Marvin McNutt about it the other day, and it's going to be a completely different receiver room. You've been in this situation before as when I was at Georgia, when AJ left. I just had to grow up fast. So, looking forward to that. And looking forward to being somebody that the Panthers can rely on day in and day out. So, yeah, I'm accepting the challenge. It's going to be a challenge, and I'm accepting it.
Now, again, I know you were right in the middle of those guys, Steve, Brandon. It was two, man, for some reason I'm drawing a blank about the other two guys that left, but all top four guys are gone. And
Dominic Hickson.
there you go. What were some of the things that you were able to learn from Steve Smith in that one season of playing with him? And
You know, in the short time that I had with Steve, it was awesome. You know, I saw somebody that came to work every day, brought his lunch pail to work every day, and just did the right things. It was so cool to see him work on the little things. You know, the little things were the things that mattered the most to him at practice. So for me to get that experience of seeing him and seeing how he worked, it was just an honor. And you know, I can't even say thank you enough just for what he taught me about the game, and you know, just how to be not even a player but a person as well.
okay, now has the team reached out to you at all since all the changes have begun to give you any indication what your role will look like this upcoming season?
Not really. I mean, when we had our exit meetings, you know, Coach Schuber just told me to be ready when I got there. You know, I didn't know that being ready was going to be this big of a you know, change. But yeah, you know, that's what we play the game for, to be ready when our numbers call. And that's my plan.
So technically, right now, would you be number one on the depth chart? I mean, I know Tavarres was he didn't play; he wasn't active last year.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure how that plays out number-wise, but you know, like I said, I'm up for the challenge. You know, I'm headed in there like it's my spot. So we'll see.
So again, some people are getting familiar with you now that you're in this position. What are some of your strengths as a wide receiver?
I mean, you heard it. I do a great job of you know, taking the top off defenses, getting deep in a hurry, putting pressure on guys in the secondary. And, you know, like I said, I led the FBS in yards per catch, so I would say getting deep and, you know, getting behind the defense is something I do pretty well. But, you know, I wanted to work on my game this season, given the time that I had to work on it, or the last season, given the time that I had to work on it. I wanted to, you know, become a complete receiver, and I feel like I took strides towards doing that.
What do you feel the offense will have to do this year to improve over last year? Certainly, continuity would have to be a concern as, again, the top four guys are now gone. You've lost Jordan Gross on the left tackle position and some other positions. What do you think will be a key this season?
You know, I think that we need to pick up where we left off. I felt like we were heading in the right direction, and you know, just keep that mindset. You know, because we're relevant, and you know, we want to stay relevant. So I just thought we need to pick up where we left off, and you know, keep that mindset of you know, why not us? Why can't we be great? And I feel like every guy's got to hold himself accountable, day in and day out, to get to where we need to be.
Okay, and then I don't know if you know this. I just found out actually right before we got on the call that tomorrow Cam Newton's having a procedure on his ankle because it's been sore ever since last season. So hopefully that's just one of those small things that they just let the media know about, and he'll be 100%, as we'll definitely need him to be so with a lot of changes going on in 2014. Tavarres, again, thank you for the time on the call, and look forward to seeing you at OTAs and then down in Spartanburg for the off season.
Certainly, appreciate you.
All right, take care. So there you have it. I want to thank you for watching and listening to our conversation with Tavarres. I did get some news today again about Cam Newton having still had some soreness in his ankle. I really think they just released that because he's going to be getting a procedure done tomorrow. It's probably something pretty minor. Guys get dinged up in the NFL all the time. But I encourage you to continue to watch us on Twitter, on Facebook. We'll keep you up to date. I will not try to predict what's going to be happening with the team this year, but certainly if you guys have any questions that I can give you some insight about, I'll be happy to let you know. This is Chris Jenkins for CharlotteVibe.com.